So the maximum you could get out of this stimulus bill would be $10,000 per month for a married couple with 3 kids. My family with 2 kids would get $8,000 per month out of this. Hey credit warriors, Credit Shifu here, and yes, there is a new stimulus bill in town that could greatly affect you. So as if getting $2,000 on a debit card, then $1,000 extra dollars every month after that, funded by $1 trillion coins, wasn't enticing enough for you, today Democratic Senators Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and Ed Markey released a draft of their so-called Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act. Now, you could get a lot of money paid to you if this bill passes. It does have a little bit more sanity than the other crazy bill that I just mentioned with the stimulus debit cards and $1 trillion coins, but there are some places in the bill where it does get a little bit crazy, and you'll see what I mean as we go along. So let's go through it. This bill proposes to give, quote, monthly rebates to individuals during the coronavirus pandemic. And it explains that individuals are treated as if they paid taxes against that rebate. So basically, it is a stimulus payment. Even if they haven't paid the taxes, they're still getting the money. So it's free money. Wahey!
Look what I found in my pocket. Look, a year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons.
Okay, I know that people are, kind of coming down on me for saying free money. I know it's paid eventually out of your taxes, or to be honest, they're borrowing so much money to do this. Probably it's going to be your children's taxes that are going to end up paying for this. Anyway, these stimulus payments are going to be $2,000 per month per individual, and that doubles for joint filers. So a married couple would get $4,000 per month. And then on top of that, you get $2,000 a month for each dependent, up to a maximum of 3. So the maximum you could get out of this stimulus bill would be $10,000 per month for a married couple with 3 kids. My family with 2 kids would get $8,000 per month out of this. There are some pretty generous income limits for this too. So for married couples filing jointly, you could earn $200,000 per year and still get the full amount. Heads of households could earn up to $150,000 per year, and individuals could earn up to $100,000 per year and still get the full amount. And then once you get over that limit, the amount of money you get will decrease by 10% of the amount that you are over the limit by. So for example, if you're an individual, the limit is $100,000 per year. Let's say you earned $120,000 per year, you're $20,000 over the limit, so you'd get 10% less or $2,000 less per month, which would cancel out your payment. Now let's look at the cancel out income level for our maximum stimulus guy with the wife and 3 kids who's getting $10,000 a month. He would have to earn an extra $100,000 per year, so a total annual income of $300,000 per year to cancel out his $10,000 per month. Now, I still think this is very, very high. I mean, I can understand it for people who have lost their jobs or are on low income, but for people who are earning, over $200,000 a year, to give them 10 grand a month and not phase it out until they earn 300 grand, or look at it this way, you are now increasing this guy's salary from $200,000 per year up to $320,000 per year. Or if you want to look at that on a monthly basis, this guy is now getting $26,000 per month. He doesn't need that. He's using it to put down the deposit on a new Mercedes G500. It's just insanity, okay? I have no words for this. Anyway, let's move on. So who would be eligible for this? Well, it appears there is a bit more sanity here compared to the $1 trillion coins and stimulus debit cards bill. So the bill lists who wouldn't be eligible, which is non-resident aliens. So Sergey from Russia, who was here on a tourist visa for 4 months and would have been eligible for the stimulus debit cards funded by $1 trillion coins bill, won't get this one. I'm very sorry, Sergey. Then any individual whom a deduction under Section 151 is allowable, so that basically means dependents or spouses on someone else's tax return don't get their own check, but they still get $2,000 for being a dependent sent to the main tax filer. So it's not like there's no money for them, it's just sent as one big lump sum with everything. The only restriction on it is that once you go past 3 kids, you don't get extra $2,000 for each kid anymore. It stops at 3. And then lastly, you can't be an estate or trust. So it's quite broad, but it's also pretty down the middle and bipartisan. Extreme Republicans would probably be like, no, citizens only. And more extreme Democrats would be like, open it up to everyone, no matter what their immigration status, as long as they've been in the country for 3 months or more, just give it to them. But with citizens and resident aliens only, so that basically includes citizens, green card holders, and some people who are here on work visas who file taxes, okay? I think it's pretty fair. So when would this start? Now, the cool thing with this bill is that the payments would be backdated to March, okay? So for your first check, you would get March, April, and May's payments sent to you together. So our individual filer would get their first check for $6,000, Pretty cool. And our maxed out guy with the wife and 3 kids who's getting $10,000 a month will get his first check for 30 grand. All right, now how long will these payments go on for? Okay, in other words, when is it going to end? The monthly payments would end 3 months after the Secretary of Health and Human Services determines that the public health emergency blah 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 has ended. So if this bill started in March, okay, retroactively dated for the beginning of March, the public health emergency will probably end sometime in the summer, okay, maybe July, maybe even August, you never know. So you're looking at potentially 5 or 6 months worth of payments. So that would be 10 or 12,000 for individuals and 50 to 60,000 for our maxed out guy. And as for the payment method, they say that they would use direct deposit into your bank account, stored value card, so basically debit card like, the other bill, or they would use other online means. Now for an important question, how much would this all cost? Well, there are about 320 something million people in the country, okay? And this bill speaks pretty broadly that almost everyone would get a $2,000 payment, all right? Obviously, if they're a dependent, that payment is made to their family rather than them personally, but basically everyone gets $2,000. So let's, because there are some people who wouldn't be eligible, let's take it down to about 300 million. So with 300 million people receiving these payments, the bill would cost $600 billion per month to fund. And if it continued for 6 months, that would be $3.6 trillion that this bill would cost. Better go and mint 3.5 of these $1 trillion coins then. Anyway, guys, this is just a proposal. There is no guarantee that this would pass in its current form. It would probably be grossly watered down. There is another bill in the House, the Emergency Money for People Act, which has now gathered 28 co-sponsors. There is also a petition on the White House website, Tell Congress the American people need the Emergency Money for People Act to pass. It's garnered over 100,000 signatures, which means the White House will respond to it. How effective that is, I don't know, because obviously the White House, it's a Republican president, whereas the House where this bill is Democrats. So I don't really know how that will work. But anyway, I'm just letting you know the popularity of this bill. Over 100,000 people have signed a petition in support of it. And this seems to be viewed by many as the most likely bill on direct payments that would be incorporated into the next stimulus bill, what people are calling CARES Act 2, or some call Phase 4, etc. However, Trump has said that he would only sign such a bill if it included a payroll tax cut.
And I told Steve just today, we're not doing anything unless we get a payroll tax cut. That is so important to the success of our country and to the following year, because I think that the following year has a chance to be one of our best years.
And even Democrats have other items that seem to come higher up the list than direct payments to Americans. For example, aid to struggling states and cities seems to be pretty much 100% confirmed that they want this in the next stimulus bill, but they have yet to give a 100% answer on direct stimulus payments to Americans. Anyway, guys, I'm just some guy on the internet. What do I know? So I will post the text of the draft bill below for you guys to read it yourself. I'll also post some of the other videos at the end of this video of the other bills that I've talked about. For example, the one with the $1 trillion coins and the stimulus debit cards, etc. You guys can check those out too. And if you do have extra stimulus money laying around,
Look what I found in my pocket. Look, a year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons.
that you don't know what to do with, now is a great time to start investing in the stock market, with many stocks that have come down off their all-time highs considerably. Some stocks down 20, 30, 40%, but expected to recover as the country recovers. It's a great time to start investing. We have a deal for 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you open and fund a new brokerage account with Webull. It's a great brokerage app. In my opinion, it is better than Robinhood. I'll put the link below for you guys to check it out. As always, please subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.